welcome to The Buzz. It's the social media program on television. I'm already having a good time here with my guest on the program this afternoon. It's a Wednesday afternoon in the city of Lagos, right here in Ikeja, where we're beaming live from in the live studios. And of course, you know, on the show, we look at issues as the trend on social media. My name is Patience Bello Okafor. It's always a pleasure to be on the program. First off, let me say a very big congratulations to a colleague of mine who just put to bed yesterday, Uche Oyekuluje. Congratulations on the birth of a bouncing baby girl. Ooh. Yes. Let's increase the population of women. Congratulations. It's really good news. You know, like I've been excited all day since I heard the news this morning. Congratulations, Uche. All right, you and the baby, wish you the best. All right, my guest on the program this afternoon, I have the very vivacious, indefatigable. Is that the right English? Indefatigable. Femi Durojaye. He is a renowned filmmaker. He's a screen and script writer, and he's also a social critic. Good afternoon, Mr. Durojaye.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Thank you for coming on the show today.
It's my pleasure.
Okay. All right. Also joining us is a man I have so much respect and regard for. Very articulate point of view on issues, national issues. It's a pleasure to have a communications expert and a social commentator, Mr. Felix Obanya, with us on the program. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Always a pleasure to have you.
Thanks for having me.
All right. And of course, our esteemed viewers, you're not left out. It's always great to know you're there watching. The number to use today on the show is 0802 8368971, and it's for SMS only. All right, let's start the program quickly. The first topic, rising cases of suicide in Nigeria. In a statement to commemorate the World Suicide Prevention Day on Monday, the World Health Organization says no fewer than 800,000 people commit suicide annually, and it's also the second leading cause of death among people between the ages of 15 and 29. The United Nations Health Agencies estimated that a person died every 40 seconds by suicide, and up to 25 times as many make a suicide attempt. It's estimated that the method used for 20% of global suicides was pesticide, self-poisoning, most of which occurred in rural agricultural areas in low and middle income countries. All right, we have a very short footage on how more and more Nigerians are actually taking the option of suicide. It's not a good one. But let's take that footage first, then we'll come back and we'll talk.
According to the 2015 data about the World Health Organization, Nigeria is ranked 30 among 183 countries with the highest rate of suicide cases. A look through the English dictionary: suicide is an act of taking one's own life intentionally. In Lagos State alone, there have been several cases of attempts this year. Mrs. Abigail Ogunyinka and Taiwo Momo, who cited indebtedness as the reason for their actions, were rescued by the police along the Lagos waters. A young medical doctor, Allwell Oji, who many would have thought should offer help to those harboring such thoughts, plunged into the third mainland bridge side of the Lagos waters before help could come his way. A month after, an unidentified man also attempted suicide in the Festac area of Lagos. He was alleged to have jumped into the Festac Canal, although residents said he moved close to the link bridge. No one could give reasons for the man's suicide mission. In early September, a 31-year-old cab driver, Hamid Olojo, who tried to commit suicide by jumping into the Lagos Lagoon, was arraigned before an Ebutemeta magistrate court in Lagos. The latest case involves a 40-year-old man, Sheyi Adekunle, who jumped into the Lagos Lagoon around the Ikoyi Link Bridge. The body was recovered about 48 hours later. A closed-circuit camera footage shows the man taking off his shoes, clothes before jumping off the bridge. The footage also shows him standing on top of the bridge, watching passerbys before climbing the rail and plunging into the water.
We will only advise Lagosians and indeed Nigerians that, suicide is not, an option. Even in a dire economic situation, it's not an option.
Perhaps the question on the lips of many now is what could drive any human being to want to take his
Welcome back. 0802-836-6971 is the number to use. Now, gentlemen, let's talk. Every 10th September every year is a day set aside and is known as the World Suicide Prevention Day. And this past Monday was another observance of that particular day. And of course, the World Health Organization has drawn our attention to the fact that more and more Nigerians are taking suicide as an option, to end it all, And of course, we all know that a lot of the suicide incidences are tied to mental health issues. Now, let's talk about mental health, first of all, leading to suicide, and also our health priorities as a nation. Let's start with you, Mr. Femi.
Once the economy begins to go down, people become desperate. If the extended family system cannot catch them, the next line of action is to take their lives. If you look at Nigeria, things have gotten worse. The economy, people are now for themselves. The safety net of the extended family has become broken in a lot of places. So we have incidences of people who feel that they are on their own, it's just them, there's nothing else to look forward to, and they want to end it all. It's terrible, and that's why we are saying this country must be returned to the path of progress. The suicide attempts and those who commit suicide will increase. It's not going to decrease. It's going to increase. And the earlier this country do the right thing by setting our country back to the path of progress, the better for every one of us.
All right, Mr. Albania, every 40 seconds, somebody takes their lives. Why would someone want to take their life?
The configuration of factors that lead to one taking their life is diverse. In the past, it could be family issues, broken marriages that can lead the kids to want to end it all. Frustration coming. But like my colleague just mentioned, things have gotten worse, particularly the economy. You see, the way Nigeria is structured, I'm talking about the informal structure. When a man has money, he caters for some, apart from his immediate family, the other people he caters along the line. Now take away income from that man. You've not only taken him out, you've taken away maybe 10, 15 people. So we need to look back closely and to understand the damage that we have done to ourselves. You see, it's like what happened, I don't know whether it's Malaysia or Thailand, where some people have done some things that are uncomplimentary. Maybe dip their hands in the cookie jar or otherwise. Said, you know what? Bring the money here locally, whether you have kept it elsewhere. Energize the economy. We're not saying you have not broken the rules, but bring them and let's talk and see how we can ameliorate the because the effect of that man on that man, you are dealing with so many people simultaneously, unknowingly. Yes, the law is good, but we must understand the consequence. It's like throwing a minor into jail. You've done so much for it. The reality, like you just mentioned, once anywhere, particularly in emerging economy, once the economy begins to go south, expect more of this. It's the reality. And unfortunately, the reports coming from all over the world particularly the ones that are more depressing is one that HSBC, one of the biggest banks in the world, I just mentioned. The future looks very bleak. That's the truth. But that is not a justification for anybody to end it up. No, no, no. Because we've been suffering 2 times.
Yeah.
Here and
beyond.
And that's the reality. Because suicide is not an option.
It's not.
Yeah, if you watch it closely, the rate of suicide is even more in the urban areas than in the rural setting. Because some of us don't understand the pain some people go through. You step out of your house, maybe your landlord is chasing you. You don't have a job. You don't know where your family will have the next meal. Even the transportation tomorrow you don't have. The man goes around, he's looking frustrated. Unfortunately, we don't have too many venues to take in to absorb that heat. That is the problem. We need, and that's why I pray that we should strengthen our churches in one way or the other. We help them, the religious of their bodies, because they are doing a great deal. Today, in many churches, in many mosques, they are feeding people. If they withdraw from that, this society we're talking about, with more than double.
Wow.
People go to churches this day, they give them at least 1 meal. They go to mosques, they give them something to eat. So I want to believe that government at all levels should find a way to strengthen it, to help them, because they are doing a great deal for them.
Okay, Mr. Femi.
I think it is time that the religious-minded should return to their God. It has been known worldwide that the Catholics have the lowest rate of suicide, right? Maybe because of the confessional they have. You can go to the priests and unburden your whatever it is. There's somebody always to talk to. You understand? You know, our priests, the priests in Catholic churches, they are not, they don't do formal work. They are full-time. They have sworn an oath of perpetual poverty. It's only Jesus. There's nothing else. They don't own properties. You understand? So they have all the time in the world to do the pastoral work. And they are doing excellently well. You know, and the indication is that among Catholics, the rate of suicide is very low. So we want to encourage our religious bodies. The love, the quest for money should reduce, and they should do more of what their calling is all about. So look after the flock, after the people. You are building very expensive universities. Build farms. Build farms.
Where people can work.
We work. Look at the Emir of Kano. He said, look, stop building all these mosques. Build schools. You understand? Let people get educated. You understand? Here, build farms. Have farms. Build maybe pure water. Do something. Get people involved. You see, the church is, let me talk about my constituency, which is the church. Or maybe let's talk generally about religion itself. When I was growing up, we had the Ansarudeen. Ansarudeen was known for education. You understand? I don't know what they are talking to me now about Boko Haram, that is like, their brand of Islam is anti-education. I don't know where it's coming from. I went to a Catholic school. You understand what I'm saying? The church was involved with the people. When the missionaries came to evangelize Africa, what did they see? These people needed education. They gave them education. We have some level of education now. The church must consider, what is it that our people need in this period of our existence as a nation? There are no jobs. Most of our youth are employed. Why can't the church, the religious bodies, key into that and help? For the Christian, Jesus told them, feed my sheep. 3 times he told Peter, is the church adequately feeding the sheep? What we have now in a lot of churches is the sheep feeding the shepherd. So there must be a clarion call for those who are leaders, for those who are shepherds, to do the work of the ministry. Though they are doing it, but the church as a whole must refocus to the needs of its people. The missionaries saw that we needed education, they gave us education. Now we need jobs, we need people to be fed. They should key into that and do something.
Can we talk a bit about our health care sector, because of the growing number of people who are depressed, and it's a global phenomenon. More and more countries are beginning, to inculcate, suicide prevention, into its health priorities. And so far, about 30 countries of the world, have done that. Nigeria is not there. You understand what I mean? So how can we begin to direct or channel the attention of our health sector, to include suicide prevention? Because it's a growing need right now for Nigerians. I mean, the Eastern governor has a ministry of laughter and and happiness and all that. Why won't we just have a ministry, that is targeted towards prevention of suicide?
The reality that we don't have a medical system. We must be honest with ourselves. Without being immodest, and there's a little statistics on of us. I think the health minister was saying that 60% of those who seek medical care in Nigeria go to the private sector.
Sure.
He said it himself. And there have been funny commentaries. The easiest way to die is to go to government facilities. If you are under the weather, that's the fastest way to go. So the question is, we need to rejig the entire system. We're not even talking about the mental issue. Just go to seek for malaria. If you don't take time, you pass on there waiting. So, not to talk about someone who has depression or who has mental problem.
And first of all, it's like almost a taboo, to even talk about mental health issues.
Like I said, because we don't have a medical system in the first instance. That's the reality. So even the so-called, what they call it, this little thing they do 500 naira a month, what they call it, there's this health thing they do.
The NHS. Yes.
By now, NHS ought to be for everybody. Whether you're vulcanized, that's why you must have it. So that we can pull the funds together. Not all of us will go to the medical facility at the same time. But what we have today, the man is thinking about how am I going to go. So, you see, we need to rejig the medical system first. Let's have one medical system. Then we'll not talk about whether it's working. Right now, it's obsolete. That's the reality. Go to any government facility, whether the general hospital or big health center. You just see people loitering around there, some of them enjoying themselves.
You find the leader of this country, who before coming to power, said he will not allow any civil servant to seek medical attention abroad, that he has the mandate to rejig the medical facilities in Nigeria and all that. But what do we have today? Some people call Muhammadu Buhari, the president of Nigeria, the ambassador of London. You understand? Is what he has done by always going abroad to seek medical attention is to tell the whole world that Nigeria is not a place you come to get well if you are sick. He has demarketed the medical sector of Nigeria, which is a fact. He knows, I'm sure, firsthand, that a lot of our medical facilities are not functioning the way they ought to function. And instead of dying